So this is pretty cool. We're at the Hockey Hall of Fame here. I'm Paul Rosen, Paralympic gold medalist from 2006, and in 2009 Pepsi Gatorade did this incredible cross-Canada campaign to pick the Sing, the nation Sing, and myself, Sidney Crosby, Evander Kane, and Kim St. Pierre, we were there for a photo shoot. Everybody was supposed to bring their rings, their World Championship ring, which I still have on me and wear everywhere, and have their own sweaters. And as you see, Kim, no ring, Evander, Sidney, no ring, no sweaters, they had to wear blank sweaters. The Paralympic athlete with no memory, 9 concussions, he's the guy who wears his ring and has his own sweater, 57. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It was a fun day. Sid is a nice guy. Evander is a phenomenal kid, and I'm a huge fan of Kim St. Pierre. And yeah, they cut my pants here, real nice pair of pants. I wanted them to roll them up so afterwards I could keep the pants, but they wanted to cut them, so they cut my pants. So there you see my artificial leg, and it's pretty good. I could probably actually redo it right here. I won't cut my pants here. We could. There you go. Reenactment. It's a good old hockey game. The good old hockey game. It's the best game you can name. And the best game you can name. It's a good old hockey game. Look at that thing, man. Isn't that ugly? There was some ugly jerseys in the. Remember Carol Badney with the California Golden Seals? I wore that. Yeah. Yeah. That was the last year. They had the 75. Wayne King. That was Wayne King.
Like any small man in a big man's game, Denis Maruk had to contend with skeptics, and his answers always came on the ice, dazzling all parties concerned with his spectacular play. He became an offensive hurricane in junior hockey with the London Knights, but still was chosen only 21st back in the 1975 NHL draft. The California Golden Seals secured his rights, where the Fu Manchu mustache Maruk started his professional career. He became a fearsome opponent with a deft ability to steal pucks and explode down the ice on breakaways. There were few players in the league who engineered as many one-on-one scoring chances as Maruk. He was fleet of foot, could stick handle smoothly, and carried a wrist shot that packed some pop. His finest days in the NHL were spent with the Washington Capitals, where he twice scored 50 or more goals, and today only 8 players in history have equaled or surpassed his single-season point totals. Denis finished his NHL career with the Minnesota North Stars in 1989, ending a stellar 16-year career. Paul Rosen here for the Hockey Hall of Fame for the York Report. And we're here with 60-goal scorer, Denis Maruk. Denis, we're just looking, we were talking, you know, obviously your 60 goals with Washington, but we're talking about the WHA days, and now your Cleveland Barons jersey, man, a blast from the past. How does that make you feel to look at that?
Well, it's always great to have something in the Hockey Hall of Fame, you know, and I've got my sticks in here, the 50-goal and 60-goal stick, but, you know, you look at these two jerseys right here, I wore both of them. Oakland Seals, my first year pro, was 1975-76 season. That was the last year they're in, and then they moved to Cleveland, and that's my jersey right there, and 2 years in the AHL, 76-78, but you know, I think they thought Cleveland was going to be a good hockey town. It just didn't take off there. They've had minor pro teams there, but it just hasn't taken off in hockey.
What about the years in Oakland, in California, the Golden Seals? Were you there when Carol Vadney was there with the white skates?
No. My first year was in 75, and that was the last year, and they got rid of the skates the year before, the 74-75 season.
Would you have worn white skates?
Well, I would have worn whatever they gave me.
As long as they paid you?
To get in the National Hockey League. I was 19 years old.
Oh, yeah.
So I got drafted by California Golden Seals, first pick in the second round. So, you know, being a kid and playing youth hockey and all that, and getting in the National Hockey League, no matter who drafted you, you get there and play, and that was my first year. So it was pretty exciting.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, since we're here tonight at the Hall of Fame, we're here for the book Concussed. And what's your thoughts of the whole concussion issue and the book itself, Concussed?
Well, there's been so many, concussion injuries over especially the top players in the National Hockey League, and then there's been a lot more in youth hockey, and I think they've got to take care of it. You know, basically, you want the kids to continue playing hockey, you want parents pulling their kids out of the sport. It's a great game, and if they can take care of it, educate the coaches, educate the parents, keep doing that, and the kids especially. You know, when they know they're hurt, they got to tell their parents that they're hurt. And you know, the hardest thing is to really tell the child to say you can't play the next game, because they all want to play. Yeah. And I think it's something they've got to really take good control of. It's okay to miss a couple games because you're hurt. Yeah. And I think what's happened is you get a star player that, you know, misses a game, then it hurts the team, and the coaches get upset. So then you really need to keep educating the coach and saying it's okay. So, you know, your best players that do get hurt, they don't have to come and play, and make sure they're healthy, and it's only going to help the individual, the player, as well as the team.
Absolutely, it's all education. I think it's come a long way. We're close in age. It's come a long way from when we were kids to now education process, and with things like Stop Concussions and the book Concussed. And the movie's going to air in probably 15 or 20 minutes, so we don't want to take too much of your time up, and we're going to have you on the show.
Good.
Dennis will be on the York Report, promise, either tomorrow night or next week for sure. Ask you one last question. Obviously, played in the NHL for a number of years, and 60 goals. I don't think too many guys are going to get 60 in the future. It's very, very incredible.
Certainly
honor.
Not this year.
No, definitely. That's what I want to ask you. How do you feel about this? You played not for millions, but you played for the love of the game. And what do you think?
Well, you go for and against. You go for the players, you go for the owners. I think you got to look at the league itself. But basically, there's a lot of money involved in the game today, and they keep saying that there's so many teams that are financially in trouble. And I really think they need to take a good look at that. They want to, you know, if they can't continue going like this right now, they're going to have to drop some teams. And you know, is there too many teams right now? Some teams are not doing too well financially in the United States, and the Canadian teams are doing great. So maybe we should add a few more Canadian teams. You know, maybe another team in Toronto. Yep. Quebec is looking into getting a team, and maybe another team out west. So you know, if that can keep going, Canada's great. The Canadian dollar's strong, so I think that's what's really helping the Canadian teams. But if we can keep the U.S. teams going, I think it'll make it great. The league will be strong, but I think that's what's happening right now. Is the league is looking at how they can, you know, kind of control the weaker teams and make them be, you know, prosperous and successful.
Absolutely, yeah. And ultimately we want hockey, and we want hockey healthy and for a long time. So if the lockout, I would say the strike, but if the lockout lasts a little longer, I'm not a big fan of the lockout, but and I'm not a fan of the owners. But I want, when it's done and finished, I want this to be done with, that our kids don't have to worry about, or grandchildren don't have to worry about work stoppage in the NHL ever again. So we teased you a little with some answers and some great comments by Denis Maruk. 60-goal scorer, guys out there. Do some research in the NHL and Google this guy, Denis Maruk. Hell of a career, 60 goals with the Washington Capitals. Kenny, zoom in on that Cleveland Barons jersey as we go out. It's the best way you can win, and the best way you can win is good old hockey.